I'm so sorry. But yeah, I was waiting for my partner to finish reading his lecture. And apparently he did almost on time because I woke up like 45 minutes later than I should have. And I was like, why didn't you wake me? And he's like, I tried to wake you. You just did not wake up.
In the times of brick phones, Tamagotchis, and curtain bangs, the 90s kids cried out for a badass. She was Xena, the warrior princess. The kicks, the moves, the nostalgia, the queerness. Xena made us gay.
So, hi everyone, I'm Kris.
Good morning, I'm Alice.
Yes. And you're listening to Xena Made Me Gay. So today we are going to be discussing episode 8 of season 2. The episode is called 10 Little Warlords.
And we finally came to an episode that I rewatched multiple times as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yes, this was one that I had... I think it was provided for me by your grandma on a cassette. And this one, the one that I kept for reasons, shirtless Paris being one of them, I guess.
We'll get into that. All right. So what happens in this episode, dear Alice?
Yeah, so barely had to even rewatch it. So we start with Gabrielle still going through it because Xena is in Callisto's body. She jumps every time she sees her lover looking like her husband's killer. This really has a ring to it.
Yeah. We all thought that, polyamory in the contemporary world was complex. Try this.
So, yeah, but then in comes Joxer with a letter, or should we say an invitation for Callisto, but plot twist, it's from Ares. But Xena knows that Ares knows that Callisto is in Tartarus, and Xena is here in Callisto's body, so she goes to investigate. Meanwhile, Gabrielle is having some anger issues. Just a little bit, She picks fights with people at the market and generally seems on edge all the time. So she's like a cartoon character. She's like, let me at him. I'm going to kick his ass. It looks like that to me, at least.
Yeah. I mean, so I would like to clarify that when you say she picks fights, what you mean is she actually hits people in the face that have done nothing wrong.
I mean, we going a little bit ahead of ourselves, where we see multiple people acting strangely. So we see just a normal run-of-the-mill market, and people are trying to sell their produce, but they get so overly excited that they start playing a tug of war with Gabrielle in the middle as a rope, and then Gabrielle is like, I've had enough of this, and just instead of just politely going away, she punches people. So yeah, we see that everybody's acting strange and really angry for some reason. Everyone's
acting strange, but she's the first one that uses violence.
Yeah.
And then everyone joins in and it's a huge melee.
Yes. But that is not the only strange thing happening. Xena looks around and sees a couple of other baddies, also supposedly summoned to this dock by quote-unquote Ares. And they're behaving well-mannered. They're proper gentlemen. They're shaking hands. They're greeting each other. And this also seems weird to Xena. But not as much as seeing Ares drinking in this ancient Greek bar.
It's kind of a cute bar. I would go there.
Yeah, really nice, and like has nice company apparently, because we see Ares and he's very drunk and very mortal. Mm-hmm. And I must say I really like this version of Ares.
Me too.
Yes, we're gonna discuss.
Yeah.
So he's cheeky, he jokes, sometimes even has some self-deprecating humor, which is really charming. Mm-hmm. And overall, he's relatable. And since I recently also lost my job, I would say he's really relatable in this episode.
Yeah.
So Ares explains how he got into this situation. He says that his sword was stolen, and as it often goes with the fragile god's powers, he's nothing without his sword. But it really sounds like that. He even says like, I lost my godhood, which really sounds like I lost my manhood.
And I mean, it's a sword, I think. For a reason.
So he lost all his powers, and now he's asking Xena's help in getting his sword back. And of course, Xena goes like, yeah, not my problem. Bye. But then Ares explains that in the absence of the god of war, everybody's got anger issues. And he says that those who never really felt rage before go off the rails, like see Gabrielle from before, and those who learn to channel their anger become more and more focused. That's a very weird scheme that I couldn't understand as a child, but I have a theory now. More on that later.
Intriguing.
But anyway, this makes Xena help Ares. They knock out some random baddie who also got invited to fake Ares's party and get real Ares an invitation. With that invitation, they board the ship and go to this remote island where something's bound to happen. We're going to find out what. And where's Gabby, you might ask? Well, Xena left her behind because her anger issues have been getting out of hand, particularly because the presence of Xena in Callisto's body became gradually too much for Gabrielle. This Gabrielle who cannot control her anger, which is also very interesting. So Xena in Callisto's body and Ares, mortal, therefore incognito, board the ship and go to a remote island in a remote castle to find out who is posing as Ares. Yeah,
the remote castle looks really, really goofy. Like it's so clearly like just drawn with some watercolors or like gouache or something. Yeah. Like something out of, I don't know, a 60s TV only Disney special.
But soon our heroes find out who was posing as Ares, and it turns out to be Sisyphus. Ta-da! He's making another comeback. So at this point, he is the resident David Copperfield of the ancient world, because the only entrance that he accepts for himself is appearing in a cloud of smoke. It's the only time like he's like, oh, I'm here. And like it's always with special effects. I love it.
Yeah, and Xena realizes that it's Sisyphus when she sees that there's some like magic tricks happening around them. Like even before he appears, like there's some shenanigans and trickery happening. And she's like, oh, I know who this is.
So he says that he summoned 10 greatest warlords, and now they're all competing for Ares' sword and a chance to become a new god of war. He even recognizes that the real Ares is standing among them, and he assures him that he can just win his sword back. And all he has to do is fight the monster / dragon / growling thingy. Once in a while, there's like, this growling sound, and everybody's like, ooh, there's a scary monster present. And Sisyphus calls him Baracus. Also, Sisyphus adds that you can only fight the monster 1-on-1, so they have to take turns, and they had to surrender all their weapons, and he provides them with like weapons of his own, which are like tiny daggers and tiny axes. That's basically all they have to fight the monster. So, of course, all of the warlords want to become the new god of war, and they all want to fight the monster, and they don't want anyone to stand in their way. So basically, they start fighting and killing each other. So this is where the episode's title comes from, I guess. 10 Little Warlords plays on an old mystery song trope where characters disappear one by one. The one that originally comes from the 19th century counting rhyme, I guess, that later inspired Agatha Christie's novel, and then there were none. So 10 Little Warlords.
Yeah, the original title was different, but we are not going to say it.
We're not going to say it. Yeah. I was like trying to explain it without.
Yeah, we can say that the original title of the novel was horrendously racist, and this is why we're not saying it out loud.
Yes. Correct. Yeah, I'm not going to describe all the fightings and killings because basically it's like very repetitive. It's fun and it happens fairly quickly. I don't know. It didn't bother me, but like, again, I'm very biased to this episode.
Yeah, it is repetitive.
Kinda. So we're not going to describe all of it, but I really found it funny that every time they would kill another warlord, they would carry the dead body into this hall when they all met and just like line the bodies against each other, like next to each other.
Yeah, on this giant table.
Yeah, no, absolutely no reason for that. But like, sure, why not?
It's just like they're just trying to be neat, you know?
Yeah.
Respect the tidiness of the space.
Yeah, and I guess this respect the title of the episode. That really illustrates the point that like there's less and less people, but yeah, no reason for that. But after one of the first fights, Ares gets wounded, and we get to one of the scenes that teenage Alice found really hot.
Oh.
Yeah, it's when Ares takes off his shirt and Xena patches up his wound. And I don't know why, but that altered my brain chemistry.
Oh, baby girl. I feel like it's such classic playing the nurse type of fantasy that everyone has done so many times. I mean, they keep doing it because it works. Like, I have no complaints. I thought it was hot. But it's just, sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. Oh my God, definitely. And I'm not even a person who is like, oh, I'm getting the hots for like this, I don't know, celebrity. But I guess as you're saying this correctly, like it's not even the fact that he's like a half naked hunk sitting there. It's the fact that he's wounded and he's vulnerable and he's human, you know?
Yeah. I have to say, I could not fully enjoy the scene because the bandages were so loose, and I could not pay attention to how loose the bandages were. I was like, Xena, baby girl, you are the best doctor in the universe of all time, before and since. Tighten those bandages, lady.
Oh, maybe when she's in Callisto's body,
her hands don't work.
Her skill kind of goes away. But like, in all seriousness, maybe Hudson Lake is just not as great as playing doctor as Lucy Lawless, which I'm not going to like spend half of the episode talking about that, because we spent half of the episode talking about that in the previous episode. But I would say that like also Hudson Lake is doing a tremendous job playing Lucy Lawless. Like this episode, I think I'm even more impressed, particularly with her, because the mannerisms, the tone is 100% there. Like everything.
Yeah, the way she speaks. It is very impressive. Like I think you literally forget that Xena is in Callisto's body at some point.
Yes, because it's so spot on. Yeah. So yeah, and coming back to the scene that impressed me so much, It is also notable because Ares admits that he did not enjoy fighting in this mortal state, like when he has to suffer the consequences. And it's a really touching scene, him being so open with Xena and Xena kind of going along with it. But there's a heartbreaking moment when she says, like, well, if you're going to get your godhood back, like, of course, that's a big if, everything that you say right now is not going to matter anymore. So all bets are off. So, yeah. But still, they're having a moment. And at some point, Ares gets to look deep into Xena's eyes. And it seems that they're about to kiss.
Oh, 100%.
Kind of, sort of.
Fully. Come on.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So it's not only my fantasy.
No. Oh, fully.
But of course, they're interrupted by more killing. And speaking of more killing, this episode also has one of the most ridiculous and fun booby trap scenes, I think, in the whole series. Okay. I really enjoyed it. So picture this: an ex-god of war falls into one of the traps, and then Ares, mortal, cranky, sweaty, and deeply offended by the concept of gravity, ends up dangling upside down over the fire while the medieval spiked torture wall is closing in on him, because like one way to kill him was not enough. And Xena, of course, manages to free him at the last second, and then we end up with one of the funniest phrases of the episode. Like, Xena asks him if he's all right, and he's like, oh, fine, yeah, I've been hanged upside down, almost burned, almost crushed. How do you mortals get by day to day?
Yeah, I mean, all of those things just happened to me, and I'm not complaining.
But that's a very good question. How do we mortals get by day to day? Like, barely. The answer is barely. Yeah. Also, we must say that Gabby did not listen to Xena when Xena is like, you have to stay put. She and Joxer made their way to the castle. They found a little yacht and they sailed it towards this remote island. And she and Joxer are there mostly for laughs because they end up both having anger issues. Although for a minute there, it seemed that Joxer is immune. That's interesting. We need to talk about that. And they come into the castle through like catacombs, essentially under the castle. And they end up finding this growling creature. And it turns out to be like a giant dragon statue with a windmill in the beast's mouth.
Windmill?
Yeah, not a windmill, but like a fan. I don't know. I say windmill because of the Don Quixote reference, but yeah, it's like a fan. I don't know, a fan that makes sound.
Like it's not milling anything.
Okay, whatever you say. So they discover Baracus, which is not a windmill, but not a dragon either, which is like a stone statue with a fan where the dragon's mouth is, essentially. And Gabby is like, that sucks. I wanted to fight the dragon, because she's all worked up. And Joxer is ecstatic, and he goes to literally smack the statue with the flat edge of his sword, screaming.
Oh, baby boy.
So this really solidified him as Don Quixote in my mind. Like, it's a clear reference, I think. Meanwhile, there are fewer and fewer warlords left out of the 10 little warlords. Gabby and Joxer enter the final battle scene, and Joxer declares that he defeated Baracus and he's now the new god of war. And he even adds, "You may bow."
That's so adorable. Also, I genuinely want to see like a day in the world where Joxer is the god of war.
Can we please have that already? Can we please? I would be very happy.
Yeah.
So Xena is like, yeah, I knew the monster was just a trick. Sisyphus is just trying to get someone to push the stone up the hill for him. So like a retrospective of what happened to this character in this series and also in the myth. He died. He tried to trick death and tried to stay alive, but like he failed. And for all of his multiple crimes, Hades, the god of the underworld, sentenced him to push the stone up the hill for eternity. And like, it's not explained in the series, but I think that's like kind of like they bank on the fact that we know what is Sisyphus famous for. And Xena says that like basically he was trying to find someone to do this punishment for him. And interestingly enough, he confesses. He says that that's true. He says that Hades asked him to send 10 best warlords to the underworld and said that the last one could take his place in this eternal torment. Don't know why Hades suddenly wanted to get those 10 collectible items. Maybe he wanted to end the fiscal year with a bang.
What? Why fiscal year?
He's like, I just remembered the Hades from Hercules Disney movie where he had this count like, ka-ching! 1 million souls. 10 of those are cool warlords.
Yeah. I mean, generally, Hades's motivation in this whole story is completely unclear to me. Like, why does he suddenly not want to punish Sisyphus? Why is he willing to make this deal?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe to just fuck with Ares, but that also doesn't fit very well because like I think the rivalry basically is mostly among the siblings, and Hades is Ares' uncle, and he usually is not, he's not participating in all of those things. So yeah, it's not clear.
And like the fact that they don't explain it is strange. Like I want at least like a throwaway line that would make it clearer.
Yeah. The only line that we have is Ares says, "Oh, I'll have a word with Hades," something like that.
Yeah, and like we already have the events of the previous episode where like Ares messed with Hades's like underworld business, and just like bring in a line that says, and you know, Hades was pissed, and this is why he did it. You know, because otherwise we have to infer it and. It's confusing.
It is. It is somewhat confusing, but like again, it was not too bad of a plot hole for me. But yeah, they could have explained more. So Xena finds Ares' sword. It was somehow hidden on one of the bodies without Ares recognizing it. That kind of like is a bigger plot hole for me, that we see him pass this place 10,000 times and he doesn't recognize his own sword. What?
Yeah, what? We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So Sisyphus tries to tempt Xena with becoming the goddess of war, but Xena ends up throwing the sword to Ares when one of the half-dead warlords is about to kill him. And Ares reunites with his sword and lets out this bitchy little laugh and disappears.
Yeah, and he has this like instant yesification effect once he has his sword. And, like his foundation is reapplied, you know.
His curls are,
you know, slicked back and shampoo. He's back in his shiny black leather outfit, you know.
Yeah, and since his hair is longer, I would say he's back in his rock star era from the previous episode.
Yeah, I mean, I would say both our rock star era is just like the two different
stages of in the life of a rock star.
Rock star on stage and rock star off stage.
Yeah. So yeah, and like it appears that he left Xena in Callisto's body once again, and you can see Xena visibly upset, and Gabrielle says this very passive aggressive, "Oh, Xena." I was so pissed at her for that. It's like this most insincere little like, "Oh, Xena."
Just
okay.
"Oh, Xena"? Doesn't she say something else?
She does when they're on the beach, but like here is just, "Oh, Xena."
Huh.
But all ends well. Gabrielle and Xena are walking through the beach. It's a very beautiful shot, and we see Xena suddenly changing in her old self, as in like she's in her old body again. Guess Ares delivered on his promise after all. And Gabrielle tests her, asking, like, is it... I don't remember the exact thing that she asked. She's like, whose body is it worse being than Callisto's? And she's like, a gargoyle or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's some stupid joke.
Yeah. The end.
Yeah. And it is so painfully obvious that it's a body double and not Lucy Lawless. Like, they tried their best, but oof, it's so obvious.
Yeah, there is one close-up shot of Lucy Lawless, which is clearly not from this episode.
Yes. It's like, oh, we have this footage. Let's just paste it in. It's gonna work. It doesn't.
Yeah, we have to mention why is it like that for those who don't remember from our previous episode.
Yes. So, and the fun credits also address that. Essentially what happened and the reason this whole body switcheroo had to occur was that Lucy Lawless had an accident while horse riding, I think like for one of those American talk shows. And she broke her hip, so she needed quite a lot of recovery time and could not be in this episode. So they had to come up with ways to deal with that issue. And I guess by the time they were filming the beach scene, she was still not available. And so they did this neat-ish little trick. With mixed results, let's say.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't bother me as much as some other things in this episode did.
Interesting. Okay, we'll get into that.
So one of the things that I wanted to mention, I think is like a lot of those are going to be just like little jokes that I enjoyed. On the ship, when all of the warlords still think that Ares summoned them there, one of the crew members comes out with this ancient Greek compact disc CD.
It's not very compact. It's more like a vinyl, probably even bigger.
Yeah. So it's a spinning thingy that spins and we hear a voice.
I mean, you are describing a vinyl.
Yes.
but
vinyl.
It's not that.
Yeah. It's a magical vinyl.
Magical device that is definitely not a real thing.
Yeah, but we hear a voice and the voice is like this, oh, I'm Ares, god of war.
But less sexy, I would say.
Yeah, and Ares coughs and whispers to Xena, like, my voice sounds nothing like that.
But also, this is just, even if it was his voice, that would be such a relatable experience because, obviously we're doing a podcast, so we're very used to listening to the sound of our own voices, but that is such a common experience where you hear a recording of yourself and you're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, people freak out over that, definitely. The other notable detail is actually the one that bothered me in this episode, and it bothered me now, and it bothered me when I watched it when I was a teen.
Okay, wow. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, because they have this ritual of just putting bodies on this table, and they roll on one of the bodies to the table, and we basically just see the feet. And as they do, they kind of roll the body so it could just lie down. But we see the body rolling on its own at some point and repositioning its feet. So basically we see the corpse very obviously moving in the shot.
No way! I did not notice that at all.
Yeah. Look the next time, when I think it's the first time where they're talking and handling bodies in this hall, Xena and Ares.
Okay.
You can clearly see that.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so good.
That's a little bit behind the scenes.
I mean, it seems like it was very much in front of the scenes, given that you noticed.
Yeah.
Another detail that gave me pause was that Sisyphus was looking a bit different from how I remembered him. And that's because they recast the role. It's not the same actor that we saw in season 1, a completely different guy.
Okay. Well, I guess they cannot always get the same guys. They're pretty consistent with actors that appear in different seasons. I think it's really nice. But yeah, sometimes
we've had a couple of recasts, but nothing too major.
Yeah, I would say that Sisyphus in season 1, also we could relate to him a little more. He was more human with all that he was doing. And here he's just a plot device. He's just like this villain.
Yeah, agree. So something that we've already alluded to, but I think it deserves a separate special mention, is that I believe, and everyone listening is free to try to fight me on this, that Ares as a mortal is the hottest version of Ares. That is as good as it gets.
Aw. I mean, I'm not gonna fight you on that.
You better not.
And we are also gonna get that again, believe it or not, in season 5.
Ooh, okay. I wonder whether they're gonna do it any differently in terms of like the vibe and the style, you know?
It's at some point it's alluded that he has a threesome with Gabrielle and Xena, so something to look forward
what
to.
What now?
I mean, it's not explicitly said, but
so many things in the show are not explicitly said, and we still treat them as full-on facts. So
Yep.
What?
This is what I remember.
Oh my god.
So see, like, the show only gets better.
Yeah, and again, I was so confused and kind of angry about the sword plot line. Like it seemed to me like they fully forgot to write out that part of the plot. And then they were like, I guess it can just be right there. And he just doesn't recognize it. And then Xena figures it out. And it's like, what? What the fuck?
This confusing to me.
And the fact that all these other people handled the sword and didn't get any special power, like, how does that make sense? How does any of it make sense? I think that's my problem. It's not like, and then it was kind of unclear when exactly it got there. No, like every single step is confusing. Like, why didn't he recognize it? Why didn't it work for others? Why did Xena suddenly understand that was the sword? Why did it suddenly work for, like, none of it I understood, which was, and like, it's the MacGuffin of the episode. Yeah. So you gotta know what you're doing with it. It was strange.
I get what you mean. It was, again, like, I was not mad at it because I'm like, fine, who cares about the MacGuffin? Give me more shirtless Ares, but I see what you're saying.
Your priorities are clear. I am here focusing on the screenwriting.
For the plot. For the plot.
Fair enough.
But I would say that this episode actually has a lot of stuff that, if you delve deeper into it, that's interesting. For example, as I said, I watched this episode multiple times. When I rewatched it, I still was not exactly sure what this no God of War scheme means, that, like, the warlords become more focused and the people who never felt anger in their lives become more angry. But I was watching this episode with my partner this time, and she had a great theory that I like. Okay. She's like, imagine that, like, anger, like, there are like points of anger given to every person. And, like, a normal person who is, like, really living a normal life, never experiencing, like, very, very strong rage, has, like, 2, 3, like 1 at a surface level. And someone like Xena or someone like those warlords, they usually have like 7, 8. Sometimes they go up to 10. And no God of War kind of like takes all of those points and redistributes them equally. So everybody gets a 5.
Okay.
And this way, like people who do not know how to handle anger because they only went up till 3, they don't know how to handle 5. That's too much for them. And people who usually deal with like 7s, 8s, 10s, when they get a 5, they're like, this is nothing. I can take it.
Interesting. I find this theory intriguing, but nothing suggests to me that that's what happened.
Yes, this is us a little bit thinking for the screenwriters.
Yes. Like trying to come up with an explanation that the episode did not provide.
Yes.
Yeah, I find it interesting. So kind of thinking about people in my life that I know who have anger issues, I feel like having a lot of anger points, as you say, does not, unfortunately, make you good at dealing with it necessarily.
It depends on the person.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think this theory only works if we assume that anyone who has anger issues also has significant skills in terms of dealing with their anger. And that is not the case. I wish it was.
Yeah. True.
I feel like it has to be something slightly different. But I still like the theory, even though I don't think it applies.
I mean, for me, it's better than nothing, because for me, it was like unclear for a long time now. And I'm like, oh, finally something that kind of explains it. And I don't think that the screenwriters came up with anything. They just wanted to kind of explore this, like, oh, who feels anger how? And that is actually very interesting. Like, I am a fan of angry Gabrielle. We get a lot of angry Gabrielle this season.
Yeah. And you always enjoy that. That's true.
Yeah, I do. Like, it's a very funny moment for me when Xena says, like, oh, remember this poem about Elysian Fields that you used to read to me? I want you to recite this poem every time you feel anger. And she's like, Elysian Fields are so calm and mild. I love it. But also, I think that that's, in terms of character development and like in terms of showing us who Gabrielle really is, I think that's a very useful tool, because she really wants to be a good girl in her own head. So even when she has those darker thoughts, she's not really, you can kind of see her passive aggressive ways of saying them, but not openly. And here, for example, they go into those catacombs, and Joxer, in his usual Joxer manner, he's like, isn't it great that I came up with this great idea of like going in those catacombs and like getting to this castle this way? And she's like, no, you wanted to storm the castle. The idea about going into catacombs was me. And I think there's so much anger of a person who does not feel valued. And I think that that's such a big thing for Gabrielle as a character. And I think that we're going to explore that further down the line. Like, I think in season 3 and 4, a lot of it is going to come out, because she would be, I'm almost on par with Xena in how like I handle things, but I'm always just a sidekick.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm very happy that you're enjoying it, because I'm not. not because I think it's like a bad writing decision. Like I think it's still very much a valid choice from the point of view of the screenwriters, but it just like it's not enjoyable for me to to watch Gabrielle, I think generally, but also when she's angry.
Yeah, no, that's fair. For me, it's enjoyable because it's very recognizable. Like I can see those traits in real people, and that's always interesting to recognize in a show that is also so like heroic and like adventurous as Xena Warrior Princess.
Someone whose anger issues seemed more interesting to me was Joxer. I feel like the way they handled it was kind of surprising to me. And again, like, I don't know whether they had an explanation in mind. But regardless, I was intrigued.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Lost situation, the TV show Lost. Like, did I get any answers? No. Did I enjoy it? For a while. That wound will never heal.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is for maybe half, 2/3 of the episode, Joxer seems to be handling this like weird anger situation really, really well. Pretty much exactly as well as all of the Warlords. So for some time, it made me think like, ooh, does Joxer have significant anger issues? Is that something that he's had to deal with a lot? And because that's not really a facet of his character that we see. At least we haven't seen anything so far. We see a lot of bravado. We see recklessness. We see...
Like he's annoyed sometimes, but I wouldn't say that we've seen him angry.
Yeah, I think anger is generally not an emotion that we see from Joxer. So I was really waiting for maybe, I mean, I wouldn't dare ask for an explanation at this point, but some kind of payoff in terms of this unexpected way that he was behaving. And then at some point he just snaps. And then starts behaving essentially the same as all the other quote unquote regular people who don't know how to deal with anger. And I don't know why they did that.
Yeah. I don't even have a theory in terms of Joxer. Like it's very entertaining. Like, and also he sends Gabby over the edge because when she's clearly very angry, he says, "Well, when I was your age," and she's like, "Ah!"
Which also made me wonder, like, how old is Joxer supposed to be? Like, is he the same age as Xena?
Seems so.
Yeah. Because he does strike me as like a younger person just because of his
naivete.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible to tell. Like, it's impossible to tell anyone's age, but like we can just like assume that Gabrielle is very young when the series starts. I would assume like maybe 17, 18.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. Yeah, but coming to the good things in this episode. We already gushed about Ares and human things, but I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed how they developed this character, showing this side of him. And like, it's also was it's a very compelling trait to kind of see in a character where he's discovering those things. But also I think there was a right balance of him being vulnerable, but not whiny and pathetic. Like some warlords at some point, like one of them says like, "Oh, this is Ares. Oh, this is pathetic." But like he actually does not act pathetic.
No.
Right? At some point, like when he's smacked in a fight in a bar, he's like, "Oh, I guess that's pain. Not so bad, really." And then his lip is bleeding and Xena puts some alcohol on a tissue and like gives him the tissue and he puts it against his lip, and then you see this genuine surprise reaction of like how painful it is.
Yeah.
And it's played really, really well. This also makes me really sad watching this episode.
I know. But I agree that they struck just the right balance, both in terms of writing and then Kevin Smith in terms of acting, where I agree, like at no point did it feel like he was pathetic. He felt vulnerable to me. He felt kind of maybe brooding at times, a bit lost, I would say.
Yeah.
But he still had this pride in him throughout the entire thing. At no point did I feel like he was going to let that go.
Yeah. And he did have his pride. He did have his humor, and he was recognizable as Ares, as the character that we know. But there were a lot of funny moments where he is like, he drank a lot, I guess, before they went on the ship, and then like you can see him like he's not doing well, Xena explains to him that that's called a hangover, and he's like, and why, I pray, it is called a hangover? And then of course like he hangs over
side of the ship and pukes.
Also, it was adorable when they were in the catacombs, like, or in the castle, like so somewhere, and he saw a rat, and he was like, like he flinched, and he felt so embarrassed, and he's like, well, I guess that's fear. And Xena's like, no, that's surprise. You know when it's fear.
Yeah. Which also kind of made me curious about, like, what do gods feel and what don't they feel? Like, is fear not an emotion that a god can feel?
Interesting. I think that the particular fear that Xena is talking about is fear. You're fearing for your life.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's like for humans is also a physical reaction. Like,
I was going to say like this, right? Like adrenaline spike that you can feel in your body.
Yes. And we all experience like that. Like, I don't know. I live in Vienna, and sometimes when a tram comes suddenly, and I'm like, oh, okay.
The horrible dangers of living in Vienna. How immortal to it.
Yeah. So yeah, and I guess like when you're a god and you never have to fear for your life, you just don't have that physical reaction. So I would say that they do feels, because like famously ancient Greek gods are very, very human, but it's not about like being fearful for your life or like fear that you're going to be hurt or something like that.
Fair enough. But I also feel like it was interesting how they kept making this distinction between what Ares was like as a mortal and what he would be like as basically as soon as he becomes a god again. Like there was this very clear assumption on Xena's part, which it seems like it turned out to be mostly true, that as soon as he gets his godhood back, everything else just goes out the window immediately. Yeah. Which I thought was an interesting decision. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I can see it. It wouldn't be my immediate assumption that you take nothing with you. It's like, death. Like you can't take anything with you when you die. You can't take anything with you when you transition from like the mortal state to the god state.
Yeah. I think that it's also a metaphor of ultimate power. And I think it has been done in other movies when like a millionaire or like a billionaire becomes poor for a day. I think that it has been done in those sort of plots. And usually those people kind of learn a lesson. But I think that what they mean here is that when you have this ultimate power and then you're like shown how people live who you did not regard and who you were looked down on, and then you see how it feels, like, of course, you understand some lessons, but then when you're restored to this ultimate power, then basically almost nothing is left of those lessons. Although I would say almost nothing, but not nothing, because he still delivered on his promise.
Yes.
Although Xena said he wouldn't. So maybe there is something there that is left.
Yeah.
But continuing with what you're saying, it also was very interesting to me. And it's kind of like a thing that I've been thinking about lately, that in those stories where we have like humans and some godly creatures, or we've been watching Sandman where there are like eternal living beings, being human is always a metaphor for being compassionate, being understanding, empathy. Although in the real world, where not that we know that there are no godly creatures and we only deal with humans actually are one of the nastiest and like horrible beings. Like they're capable of being absolutely incredibly kind, but also out of all the living creatures on Earth, we're by far the worst in what we can do.
But I guess so. There is an argument to be made that one of the reasons we suck so bad is that we have so much power. And if you take us and give us even more power, I think it's reasonable to assume that whatever ends up existing would suck even more. And so in comparison would be like this, oh, cutie patootie, so kind, so compassionate, so lovely.
Yes, but also those cutie patooties, like they make wars and other atrocious things. So
That's true.
Yeah, so like it's not only Xena Warrior Princess. Like a lot of media is kind of like viewing being human as being good, basically, in one way or another. And yeah, that's an interesting paradox to me.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I guess maybe part of it is just wishful thinking. It's like, what if we weren't the worst?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? And that kind of brings us to the end of our episode discussion. As always, I'm going to mention the fun credits at the end, which this time say, no one was harmed during the production of this motion picture. However, Xena's ability to recover her body was severely impeded by Lucy Lawless's unexpected mishap.
Oh,
yeah, I think it's cute that they addressed it directly in the credits. Why not?
Yeah.
And what was the gayest moment of the episode? It was not a very gay episode, so
it was very, very not gay, I would say. My brain is fogged by 14-year-old Alice being heterohorny for Ari.
Ew, I hate that word so much. No.
Me too. Yeah. Okay. Like it's gonna be a cop out for me. There were those two warlords who Xena at the very beginning they said that they're sworn enemies, and then they behave like besties the whole episode, and they hug and they laugh together.
You're saying being besties with another man is gay? Is that what you're saying?
I'm grasping at straws here. I'm trying to find anything gay in this episode, like anything.
Oh my god, you're like one of those men who refuses to like hold their girlfriend's purse because that will make them gay. That's who you are.
But
you
also
have
I'm like
finally revealed yourself as that.
Yeah. That, but also in a way what I think that's a good thing. Like, let's all hold our girlfriend's purses. We all could use being a little bit more gay.
Okay. That did not work as well as you think it did. So at some point when Gabrielle starts getting really angry at Xena, and she's like almost on the verge of getting violent, Xena kind of disciplines her a little bit. And I thought there was a little bit of a sexual frisson in the way that she did it.
Because she grabbed Gabrielle by the ear? That's
no, not that. Not that scene. When they're at their camp at night, when she makes her recite the Elysian Fields poem, right? I think right before that.
Okay,
or maybe right after that. There's a moment where Gabrielle's like, eh! And Xena's like, don't you fucking be starting this. You know? And like, yeah, it's very firm. It's not like, it's with love, but very firm. And I don't know, like there's something about the way that she does it where I was like, I see you. I see you.
Okay. You found a gay gem in this episode.
I will find a gay gem anywhere. I will not be stopped. And how many chakrams out of 10 would you give this episode?
I'm biased. 10.
What the fuck? Seriously?
10.
What the fuck?
This is one of the, like, I would say 3 or 4 episodes that this is one of the 3 or 4 episodes that I remember almost by heart. And this is like the episode of my adolescence. I won't give it anything less than 10.
Why?
With all of the flaws.
Why?
Because there's so much good here.
What? Like what?
Ares being mortal,
okay,
and human,
what else?
and vulnerable.
What else?
Gabrielle's anger issues. That also works nice.
Sure.
For me.
You like that? What else?
I don't know. I enjoyed it. Okay, let me enjoy it.
I will not let you enjoy it.
So what is 0 from your end to balance it out?
It's a 5.
Okay. That's fair.
That's mediocre.
Fair. It's not.
The plot holes are gigantic, and there's so many of them. And the killing of the warlords is repetitive, and I did not enjoy that part. I do not care about Gabrielle's anger issues. Yes, Ares was hot. Yes, Ares was great as mortal. All of those 5 points are going to Ares. So
fair. That's fair. Okay. I'll take that.
It is. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode. We're going to talk to you soon about season 2, episode 9, called A Solstice Carol, just in time for the holidays.
Yes.
And in the meantime, feel free to follow us at Xena Made Me Gay on Instagram. We're always happy to hear any feedback from you. You can DM us. We're all ears, as always.
Yes. So, talk to you soon.
Bye.